All right, let's talk about a bird of prey that's so unique, it's literally in a family all by itself. We're diving into the world of the osprey, Pandion haliaetus. This is a true master angler with a global reach. You've probably seen one, but I promise you're about to find out just why it's such a one-of-a-kind creature. So let's just jump right in. The Audubon Field Guide calls it a distinctive fishhawk, but honestly, that's kind of an understatement. See, this bird isn't just another hawk that happens to eat fish. No, it's so incredibly specialized that scientists had to create an entire family just for it. That alone tells you something about its amazing evolutionary journey. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at why the osprey is in a class of its own. Then we'll follow it around the world to see where it sets up shop. After that, we'll get into its incredible hunting skills, check out its clever defense tactics, and we'll wrap things up with the really cool story of one osprey family's incredible journey. Okay, first up, a class of its own. Let's really dig into what makes this bird so different from a biological standpoint. You know, its scientific name, Pandion haliaetus, actually tells you a lot. The osprey is the only living species in its entire genus and family. Think about that for a second. It's like being the only person in the entire world with your last name. It's a true evolutionary standout. And this chart really drives that point home. I mean, look at that. While it's definitely related to other hawks and eagles, at some point millions of years ago, it just took a completely different path on the evolutionary highway. And that unique turn is exactly what allowed it to become the ultimate fishing machine that we see today. Which leads us perfectly into our next section. Home is where the fish are, because being such a specialist really dictates where in the world this bird can actually live. So where can you find this master angler? Well, pretty much everywhere. Seriously? From the lakes of Scotland to the swamps of Florida, the osprey has totally conquered the globe. It's one of the most widespread raptors on the entire planet. But you know, this world traveler does have some non-negotiables. It needs a room with a view, and that view has to be of water. We're talking clear, shallow lakes, winding rivers, or coastal areas that are just packed with fish. And it needs a safe, high-up spot for that huge nest, a fortress to raise its family. Okay, now we get to the main event, the ultimate fishing machine. Let's break down the offense and diet that truly define this bird. Watching an osprey hunt is just, wow, it's a real spectacle. It all starts with this patient, graceful scan, then it locks onto a target, hovers for just a second, this moment of pure focus, before this heart-stopping plunge. It hits the water with a massive splash, vanishes completely, and then it just explodes from the water, a victorious hunter with its prize. It is pure predatory perfection. This number, it says everything, 99%. You know, while other predators will basically eat whatever they can get their claws on, the osprey is a single-minded specialist. This laser focus on fish is the absolute key to its success, but it's also its biggest weakness. So what's its secret? Well, it's all in the gear. The osprey's feet are just an engineering marvel. It has this reversible outer toe that creates a grip like a vice. Its foot pads are covered in these little barbs that act like sandpaper on a slippery fish. And those razor-sharp talons, they make sure that once a fish is caught, there's absolutely no escape. It's a living, breathing fishing machine. But hey, catching the food is only half the battle, right? So now let's talk about defending the fortress. We're going to explore all the dangers and defenses that surround the osprey's nest. This brings up a really big challenge. Ospreys build these huge homes right out in the open, totally exposed to predators and the weather. So you have to wonder, how in the world do they protect their family from all the dangers lurking above and below? And the dangers are everywhere. From the silent shadow of a great horned owl to the sneaky claws of a raccoon, the osprey's nest is a constant target. And it's not just predators. Even a brief disturbance that keeps the parents away can be fatal, because a chilled egg means the end of a new life. But the osprey is a master of defense. It chooses its fortress with incredible care, often building high above the water to stop any ground-based attacks. Its eggs are covered in this amazing camouflage, and both parents are these relentless guards, always ready to launch a furious defense against anyone who dares to get too close. All right, let's make this personal. Now we're going to follow the incredible journey of a dedicated osprey couple, NC0 and LM12, as they bring a new generation into the world. So meet NC0 and LM12. Their story starts with this epic 3,000-mile flight from West Africa all the way to their home in Scotland. And they don't waste any time. They immediately start rebuilding their nest, this amazing symbol of their partnership. And then the magic begins, as NC0 lays 3 precious eggs. For the next 37 long days, they'll share the job of incubation, their lives completely devoted to the future held inside those fragile shells. The Scottish Wildlife Trust really captures the magic of this. They said, under the shell, we're watching 3 new ospreys growing from a single cell to an entire chick in around just 5 weeks. It's just a whole universe of life, unfolding in secret. And here's something you might not know, a really cool twist. The young ospreys that survive their first year, they don't rush back home. They actually take a gap year down in the sunny south, perfecting their fishing skills and building up their strength. It's a super clever strategy that gives them a much better shot at success when they finally do return to start their own families. You know, the osprey story is one of real tragedy and incredible triumph. The pesticide DDT nearly wiped this magnificent bird off the face of the earth. But we learned from our mistakes, and since DDT was banned, the osprey has made this spectacular comeback. It's a living, breathing symbol of hope and the power of conservation. And that leaves us with a question, one that really echoes across all of our lakes and rivers and oceans. The osprey is so much more than just a cool bird. It's a living indicator of the health of our planet. Its fate is completely tied to ours. So what can this master angler teach us about our job as guardians of the very waters that sustain us all?